Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're coming at you with a Band-Maid request that comes from one of our Patreon members, Superfly Lee. Thank you very much for this request, Lee. And it is for Band-Maid, The Dragon Cries. This is a track off of their Conqueror album, which came out in December of 2019. It's one we've never heard before. This is the official music video, and we're very much looking forward to it. Looks like it dropped in February of 2020, which sounds about right. So we enjoy ourselves some Band-Maid for sure. And actually, this is exactly the kind of thing we'd like to be able to find. So very thankful for that. Adrian, do you have any thoughts ahead before we take a look at this?
Well, I just remember the other Band-Maid songs that we did. I like Band-Maid, I know that.
Yeah, they are very energetic and very entertaining. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll check this out, and then we'll discuss afterwards.
All right.
All right. Well, Adrian, what'd you think of that?
Oh, it sounds like good old rock and roll from Band-Maid.
Yeah,
Very old school.
Yeah, it actually sounds different from most of the Band-Maid tracks that we've heard before. And we know that sometimes they delve off into another direction that we're not really used to. We've seen that before with this band. This kind of reminded me a bit of Soundgarden, kind of 1990s grunge.
Yeah.
That was kind of the overriding feeling that I got watching this. Very interesting song. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I liked the chunky rhythm that they had going through it. And of course, love all the distortion going on there. It's funny, every time I look at the amps that they use, you see the orange amps and you've got Konami using her Paul Reed Smith, and I think of the parallels that they have with the Warning in that way. They had a lot to talk about, assuming they could, through translators or whatever. They have a lot in common, it seems like. The vocalization that Psyche was using there reminded me a bit of Chris Cornell, who was the Soundgarden singer. Yeah, I thought it was very cool and a nice change of pace from the band.
I was trying to pay attention to the lyrics, but I couldn't because there's just this barrage of like this great rock and roll sound, but also all this imagery on the screen.
Yeah, they had the lyrics on screen and they were in cursive, which is a little harder to read too, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, essentially it was social commentary, saying, hey, we're kind of wrecking the earth here, bad decisions lead to bad situations kind of a thing.
Yeah, just all this imagery of like dying animals and melting icebergs and other environmental disasters and disease, death, and other fun stuff.
Yep, wars. There was war footage in there too. Maybe even, come to think of it, there may have been an atomic bomb blast in there. While watching this, I was thinking, how much would it cost to put this video together? And actually, a lot of that was stock footage beyond, the actual shooting of the band itself there. They tend to find a place to film that doesn't cost that much, although this had some furnishings. There's probably still maybe a studio you can go to somewhere where you can record your music video, and they may have various trappings that you can put into the room. This is just a guess. And then the little person there, I think that was a girl, but, with the tear going down her eye and also sitting kind of in a ball at the end of the video and all that. So she was probably on scene. They may have actually had a snake and a snake wrangler. I don't know. Some of that could have been stock footage that they were able to buy, like all the war footage and all of those, the dead animals and things like that. That's all stock footage that you can buy. So that's not terribly expensive. It's very affordable, actually, for any band that's thinking about getting fancy with their videos. So it wasn't necessarily a very expensive video, but there were a few expenses in there that go beyond what we normally see with Band-Maid.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I'm going to go out on a limb and make a guess here. I was wondering if, the dragon is crying and so is Mother Earth.
Yeah, I think that is essentially the tie-in, something like that. I can try to find some words. Something happened long ago. The world was simple. A love could grow, bound together in dark and light, at peace within, no need to fight. That is why too many tears flow. With each goodbye, the dragon cries. Then you left me, no reason why, no falling rain, my love went dry. See, so there's kind of a personal story, too, intertwined. My breath was empty, no tree to climb, no stars that shine, a moonless sky. So they're feeling down after. So it's interesting. Maybe the actual video went with a slightly different concept, although you can kind of tie some of this into, the destruction they were talking about in the video. Like the birds that sing no more, the deer that run have no place to hide, 1,000 roses that never bloom, no more tears to cry, the phoenix flies.
Great lyrics.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good, But yeah, so in that way, they're not necessarily social commentary, but I think that they kind of went that route with some of the imagery in the video. Very effective song, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it a lot. So thanks, Superfly Lee. We really appreciate this one. And I think that in the future, we may have to look at a little more off Conqueror. That may be an album that we haven't explored as much as we'd like to. But for now, yeah, this was great. Really enjoyed this one. Okay, folks, well, why don't you let us know what you thought of this song and if you've heard it before. Have you ever seen them play it live? Do you have the album Conqueror? any of those things, any experiences you have with the song or the band, please leave those below. We always like reading about those. And if you have other suggestions for us, you can leave those as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right. Take care, folks.
See you all later.